Welcome back to the Broker Power Up podcast, the AIME podcast, strategy, stories, and insights to help you close more loans. I'm Tommy Golightly, joined by Jonathan Haddad.
We are back with another one,
Episode,
my friend.
episode 8. We're doing it.
That's wow, 8 already?
8 already. 8
You're
already.
cranking these out, my friend. Thank you.
One a week.
Mhm.
We have a lot to go over today, though. We have the Broker Buzz, as always, where we dive into the top posts of the week from the Brokers Are Best Facebook group and discuss what's trending, what's working, and what you need to know. Then we're going to go into some sales pitch training where John teaches us how to hone our sales skills and become better salespeople. Then we're going to wrap things up with story time with John. And this one I haven't heard, but I'm excited for. So we're going to start the podcast as we always do for the fortune cookie. So crack it open. And we got. I just realized I always forget to read the words on the back. But to be courageous is to step outside your comfort zone.
Do you want this one or do you want me to have this one?
We can both do it. It's up to you. What's your take on it?
This one is a this is like life to me. I won't lie. That's how hard this one hits me. Your entire life growing up, if you look back, your childhood, being a kid, going through all the biggest things in your life, you were excited for change. If you remember your first days of school, I remember mine. I was excited every year. And then what happens is life gets to you and life starts to beat you up. And then you stop being as courageous towards change is what I find. Because if you ask a child about, hey, we're going to do something new tomorrow, they look at you with a face of excitement and like, I can't wait. But you tell somebody, hey, you should look at this new position. There's a new job opportunity for you that could be really good for you and your family. I'm comfortable with where I'm at. I like the position I'm in. I'm not saying it's not the right position. I'm saying if that's your response every time, do you really think the position you're in is the absolute best for you if you've never even once thought about the potential excitement of change? So that one's deep for me. You can tell I've thought about that one on many of occasions because it's just that power of being a child again. And I watch kids, and now I got my own. That level of excitement is taken from us over time. So getting back to that courageousness and getting back to accepting uncomfortability and being okay with change and doing something new, that's life, my friends.
Yeah, and I feel like this definitely leans towards the younger crowd, right? Because that's where most of the time, except I guess that's not necessarily true, but I find a lot of these times where I stepped out of my comfort zone, and 9 times out of 10, it ended positively. But I feel like it happened more often as in my 20s. And now there's very few situations where I am outside of my comfort zone, but it's because I left it so much in my past that it's now comfortable for me. And there isn't a lot of situations I find myself, and not because I dodge situations. I just don't find myself in situations where I feel like I'm stepping out of my comfort zone.
Well, it's funny because like even I think I've told this story. I don't know if it was on here, but even at Fuse, when we had one of the vendors that a little unhappy, and I was like, all right, let me go talk to him. I'll just take head on. Let's go have a conversation. Grown up to grown up, and you're like, let me tag along. And I was like, what? You sure? Like you're good. I don't. That's not your role. Don't worry. Like this is what I'm supposed to do. Like no. I just want to go. Just give you additional oversight. So even watching you do that, for sure, like you weren't uncomfortable. It didn't bother you at all. You're like, all right, well, it might be confrontation, but oh well, we'll see what happens.
What's
And
the
it
worst?
wasn't.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that's going to
What's the
happen?
worst thing that's going to happen when you go and say sorry? Like
Nothing.
nothing.
I mean, they could be pissed. I mean,
Oh,
it's
sure.
happened before, but it's a lot more rare when someone's
Yeah.
upset, after you're coming and apologizing. So I agree. That's a really good way to look at it too.
Absolutely. Well, let's dive into the broker buzz this week. We have some exciting topics. First question. HUD has pulled the guideline that allows non-permanent residents to get an FHA loan, effective for case numbers after May 25th, 2025. What are your thoughts, John?
Yeah, man. So this is a tough one. So one, I am first generation, so I still have a lot of family here that are either they're working on stuff. I'll just leave it that way, so I don't incriminate myself or them. But they're working on stuff, and they have been, and they're trying to do it the right way and they're trying to abide by everything. And it's a weird climate right now with stuff that like that. Now, if you're to take away the personal side of it, um, I understand also HUD's side of this because they're basically saying, hey, here's the rules that have been changed and here's how it could affect these government backed loans. And we don't know if these consumers can pay. God forbid they something does happen, they get deported, God forbid, and something occurs. Well, we don't know if they can make these payments. So I also, it's hard for me not to see that side of it from their side as HUD, but it's about the situation, right? And I think that's the part people are much more susceptible to, right? I think that's much more effective. That hits close to home. I know it does for me, and I know it does for a lot of you. But from a mortgage standpoint, if I am to remove the emotion completely, I can understand. I don't agree, but I can understand from their risk standpoint and the fact that it's the government backed loans and it's government backed money, why they would do something like this based off the rules that are changed. I know it's a sensitive topic, so I'm treading cautiously here, Tommy, as I speak about
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
But I also, this is mortgage specific for us. And so from mortgage specific, that side makes sense, but it's super hard empathetically on the other side of it where it's like, damn, especially clients like you got till May. So it's like anybody that hasn't found a home yet, you're kind of rushing. And it's the part that's frustrating because we talk to a lot of these clients, here at my company as well when we're doing mortgages. The problem is you don't want to create fear, but you also want to have realistic talks with these consumers. Like I don't want to have to call you and be like, Tommy, did you hear the news? But it's like, how do I get the point across where it's like, hey, this is happening. And I'm not telling you got to do something now, but if you don't, I won't be able to do anything. Not because I don't want to, because I legally can't anymore on an FHA specific product for non-permanent resident. So having those conversations with your clients, y'all, is important. Don't make it doom and gloom. There's a lot of unknown still and uncertainty. But if they are on the horizon, I mean, you just have to have a very serious talk. Really map out the pros, map out the cons. The worst could happen, and it has happened to some folks out there, and that's a serious conversation that is important that you have. And don't just think about the person. Don't think about the house. Don't think about your check. Just think about the person having those talks. So that's what I'll say about that. Hopefully, that gives a little bit of guidance.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it just reinforces one of our core concepts that we always preach is educate your consumer.
Always, my friend. Always.
Moving on to number 2, we got, are there any property assessed clean energy options on the wholesale side?
So there is and isn't. So the thing is, there's companies out there that'll do it with the loan, and that's actually more so where my head is at with it. Somebody I was working with before, I don't know if she's still doing it, but she was doing something like this. Her name was Toby Roberts. So look her up. Her and her husband have a great company, City Creek Mortgage, out in Utah, and they were doing something with clean energy. So I'd recommend looking into it. The lenders aren't going to have that product, but you can attach it to the loan if you have somebody that will do the financing. So it's double financing. It's just like closing a second mortgage in some instances where it's two, you can close simultaneously, but it's two separate instances. There are products like that are tax advantages based on the state that you live in as well that can help you. So look into what she's doing, research some of it. A lot of the lenders aren't going to do it, but you'll find separate entities that you can attach the product to the loan that you're doing.
Cool. And the big one, Rocket acquires Mr. Cooper for $9.4 billion. Current Mr. Cooper CEO will become CEO and president of Rocket Mortgage.
You want to know what's funny, Tommy? Like, I feel like everybody, because I worked at Rocket obviously
Yeah.
for 6 years, and I feel like everybody has been like waiting for me to throw punches and haymakers and all that. And it's like, all right, I'm here to help y'all close more loans. That is my job.
Yes.
So when I see stuff like this, I will tell you, just as someone that was there for a long time, it's like this doesn't surprise me. They're competitive. This is what they're trying to do. Now, I will say this: it's hard for me to, people are like, "This is super broker friendly." I don't see that. Just as somebody that was, in that process and part of it. They're in business to make money. So is every business. If your business is for profit, it's exactly means that it's for profit. You need to make a profit. You're publicly traded. So all these companies, I don't care who you are. You have a goal to your investors. They're looking for you to be profitable so they can feel comfortable about continuing to invest into you. That's very standard. So they're making decisions based off of that. Now, for me, I just look at facts, right? I look at their earnings reports, and you see their earnings report. And last year, you see how much business was done with their direct to consumer model. And you see how much more they make on direct to consumer. And this is all on the earnings report. They're making significantly more compared to the wholesale division, their partner channel that they have. So for me, it's like, why would you do all this and not want to try and take advantage of it and maximize profitability? That's your job as a lender. So that's where my head is at with it. I have my mortgage with Mr. Cooper. So I got the text messages and the emails. Hey, we're excited to announce our partnership. Didn't mention anything about brokers to me in there. But again, you got to just focus on what you can control. I think what this really is a big sign for is you got to stay in front of your past clients, mortgage brokers out there. This isn't about us versus retail. This is about you versus you. I'm being upfront. Like, this is you versus you. One, stop being naive thinking that nobody's going to write your past clients. You're mistaken. I mean, it is crazy. If you don't think you've had a past client written by retail in general, you're delusional. Like, that's just not a good mindset to have. And I say that because I'm not saying that because, oh, well, John, I work all my past. I never miss one. You're right. Some of you out there for sure do it. But it's the fact that some people don't even think that it should be a thought. I just focus on this. That's all that matters. No, it's not. You need to stay in front of your past clients. You need to have systems in place. You need to work with certain tech companies to make sure that you can always make sure you're the first person when the client pulls their credit. This is a data thing. $12 billion has been spent in 30 days between Redfin and Mr. Cooper. $12 billion. And it's not for fun. It's not for fun. So just pay attention to the stuff around you and just make sure your systems are in place. Give you the best advantage to keep your client front and center. So that's my thought on it. Mr. Cooper, CEO, is stepping in to be the CEO and president of Rocket Mortgage, which to me, again, that makes sense. He's done if we're going to just look at it from a bird's eye view, he's made Mr. Cooper very profitable. This guy is a sales weapon. He is not bad at sales. He knows how to drive business. He's proved it at Mr. Cooper. They had a really good stock evaluation. They got a really good valuation on this buyout. So now he's stepping in, and this guy is a sales animal. So you got to deal with that. And there's nothing wrong with it. That just means we got to do more. We got to be more focused. We got to work harder. We have to focus on our craft and focus on our sales. So that's my thoughts on it. Everyone's like, you got to, John, tell him what? Let's go to work. Let's put our heads down and go to work. That's it. So that's
how do we do that?
Tommy, it starts with looking yourself in the mirror and telling ourselves that, okay, what areas do I think I'm good at that I'm really not good at? The amount of times that we believe we are the perfect fit for this or nobody can do this better. I'm victim of it too. Okay. I'm victim of it too, because we're salespeople and we need to build our confidence. But the reality is, I talked about it this morning on the mortgage morning call. Think about it like this: land, air, and sea. Like if you're not following up with a client, land, air, and sea, that's text message, phone call, email, 3 times a day. Just know you're behind, because that's what was being done in retail. So like when I say look yourself in the mirror, start with follow-up. What about the loans that you lost? Could you have won any of those? How could you win them? Do you record your calls and listen to your calls and critique yourself? I do. I still do. Do you record your calls and have your partner critique them? Have a colleague critique them? Do you have somebody, a peer that you can call and just rattle off objections to and just go at it with one another on the phone? How to overcome an objection, how to go through a conversation. That's how you start, y'all. Back to the basics, the nitty gritty. Forget all these wild sales tactics, okay? Forget it. Go back to basics. Oh, you got me heated, Tommy.
Okay. But I also have another way. They can get all the tools they need to be their best self and to go up against, like you said, go up against yourself. How do you do that? You become an AIME member and take advantage of all the discounts with all the vendors and connections with the lenders. And you can do that in the brand new fancy AIME member portal. If you are not an AIME member, scan the QR code in the ad I'm about to roll, and then stay tuned for after the ad. We're going to do some sales pitch training. See you on the other side.
Are you a wholesale mortgage professional? Well, then the very first thing you need is a community to help you and your business grow. With AIME membership, your community is right here. Joining our community means never navigating the market alone or operating without a safety net ever again. We are 16,000 members strong of united wholesale professionals. From rookies to top-ranking originators, all dedicated to supporting each other's success so we can grow together. Beyond entry to the best community in the mortgage industry, AIME membership gives you the resources, tools, guidance, discounts, services, and support that help you and your wholesale business grow, thrive, and most importantly, close more loans. AIME membership connects you with leading wholesale lenders and vendors, offering you exclusive access, services, and discounts that save you more money while helping you make more money. Never get stuck on a loan again with our lender escalation program. Grow your network and skills with the wholesale industry's best conferences and networking events. Get the strategies and skills of top originators and industry innovators with AIME's cutting-edge wholesale mortgage education, resources, and content. AIME offers all of this and more, starting at a low price of $19.99 a month. You heard it here first, couple cups of Starbucks coffee. For you to learn more and get started, all you have to do is visit aimegroup.com, AIME group.com /membership. Your community is waiting.
All right, and we're back. Time for some sales pitch training.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are we learning today?
Today is it's follow-up. I've talked about it before, but I want to make sure people understand the importance of it right now. Okay. Your voicemails. Okay. And I'm going to set the tone here. I'm going to set the tone for the type of follow-up I'm talking about. These aren't the clients where you're like, all right, John, yeah, I'm good at setting follow-ups. These are the clients to where I want you to think about a refinance or even a purchase, but refinance right now. So imagine it's a client you're saving $300 a month for. It's a lay down. You're like, this is it. This is my loan for the month. This is my opportunity. And you're telling your friends, I got this one. Here we go. This is a good one. This is helping the client so much. And then all of a sudden they stop replying. They ghost you. Oh my. The frustration builds. And I've seen it happen so many times. And then what I see LOs do, I've seen my LOs do it, is like they'll say, oh, I don't get this person. I don't get this client. I don't get that. I don't get, no, I do get it. It's a you thing. It's never a client thing. So my first thing to you is when you're following up, it's on you. Understand that. Don't you dare blame anybody else but you. By the way, I've done it too. All the stuff I'm telling y'all not to do, I've done. I've done it so many times. That's why it's so fun to talk about it this way. Following up, y'all. You have to be so excited and so delusional in your own head that you're the best fit and the best person to call this client. And if the client doesn't tell you no, in the back of my head and the back of yours, my job is to keep reaching out until you tell me no. You didn't say no on the first call. How do I know you don't want to move forward? So I'm not going to stop. So now this client goes, it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks have passed. This client you're saving $300 a month for. And you're leaving the voicemails, but you're just leaving them to leave them. Hey, Tommy, it's Jonathan. Just checking in. We were saving you $300 a month. We talked about 2 weeks ago. Call me back when you get this. Why don't we try something new? How creative are your voicemails? You should just put them in to ChatGPT and have a blast with them. Hey, Tommy, I am checking in. Something wild popped up on your file that I have actually never seen before in my 10 years of doing this. I need to run this by you. Can you just let me know if this is legitimate? Can you give me a call, 734-377-7986?
I'm definitely going to respond to that second one way faster than the first one.
That's
But it's also putting a little bit of fear in me. So
it doesn't try
yeah,
something. My
yeah.
point is try something. Try something. But John, what if it didn't? What? Y'all, the market's volatile as can be right now. Things are changing every single day. PMI drops every day. These lenders are reworking agreements every day. Rates are moving an eighth every day. Lenders are giving incentives every day. Try something new. Do you want to answer the call? Hey, it's Jonathon. Call me back. We talked 2 weeks ago. Tommy, I've been thinking about you. I just hope everything's okay. I know y'all, you told me last time the family's dealing with X, Y, and Z. This is just me checking in. I hope you're doing amazing. I've sent flowers to clients that were dealing with something, and it's like, you know what? Let's leave this alone. Let me just send flowers. I'll send flowers. They'll call me back. Oh my God, I can't believe you did that. Hey, listen, I can't right now with what I'm dealing with, but on Tuesday we can talk.
Yep.
And even if we don't do anything, so what? It cost me $50. Who cares? They're never going to forget me.
Yeah, that's a lasting impression.
It is a lasting impression, man. And you have to try everything. And land, air, and sea, phone call, text message, email. That is land, air, and sea, my friends. Phone call, text message, email. And also, try different times. If you call a client at 8 a.m. every morning for a week straight and they don't answer, maybe try lunch. Maybe try evening when they're home for dinner. Work this stuff out. Give it a shot. So today is not about, it's not like a sales strategy. It's about being creative with your follow-up game. It's not about the deals that are easy. It's about the deals that you could have won. That's what makes or breaks your years. I promise you. I'm telling you right now, every year you have to learn how to not lose loans. Your first year in the business, maybe you lose 10. Your second year, you lose 8. Third year, you just keep bringing that number down as you learn how to communicate with consumers and with agents and with everybody else in between on the transaction. Following up is part of not losing these deals. How good are you at it? How good are you at it? Do you practice it? Or do you think that things are just going to keep falling from trees into your lap? That is my message for y'all today. Land, air, and sea. Get creative, my friends. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Become an absolute assassin.
I have a challenge for people that are willing to take it. The next 10 follow-ups you do, make sure you've never followed up that way before. Just
I love
10
that.
completely new, completely different, not ChatGPT, just from scratch. Think about the person you're reaching out to, make a connection with some kind of thing that you have in common, or just that they like, or that they're going through, and just ride off of that and try something new. And you can also try something new by coming out to our Unify events. So we have 2 coming up that are not in the ad read, but are Sacramento, California on April 22nd and Denver, Colorado on April 24th, both from 5 to 8 p.m. local time. They're going to be a good time. Get to network and be around fellow uh, brokers and home ownership experts. And you can RSVP at unify.aimgroup.com. So we'll see you on the other end with Storytime with John.
If you're an independent mortgage broker, real estate pro, or home ownership advocate looking to connect with like-minded professionals, AIME is here to give back. If you're an independent mortgage broker, real estate pro, or home ownership advocate looking to connect with like-minded professionals, we have the perfect event for you. AIME is proud to bring you Unify, completely covered by AIME directly. Unify is AIME's local networking and education series designed to help you and your community build more referral relationships to grow your business together. Each event offers exclusive content focused on a topic shaping the mortgage industry with brief but powerful presentations from experts who have been in your shoes. Expect high-energy networking with real connections happening with real conversations. Plus, we're raffling off some pretty unique prizes at each and every event. Join the AIME's wholesale mortgage community, real estate professionals, and yes, even retail mortgage professionals. We want you there as well, because we know that we can make a difference in our local communities by connecting and having conversations together. This isn't just another event. This is where community meets opportunity. Whether you're looking for business strategies or the right people to help you level up, Unify delivers. Register today and join us for free in Dallas, Texas on March 25th and Phoenix, Arizona on March 27th, with many more locations to come. Just go to unify.aimgroup.com to get started. Now hurry up, spots are limited. Don't miss your chance to be part of something bigger.
All right, and we're back. Time for story time with John. I'm going to hop into the back, let John take it away, and I'll see you to close things up.
And we're going to keep on the path of following up. So for those that don't know, I absolutely love Harry Potter. Huge fan of Harry Potter. And I know there's a lot of people out there. There's a new actually series coming out next year, 10-year long series. So now my kids can grow up watching it just like I got to grow up watching it. So there is a good story in Harry Potter about the importance of following up, especially when the message you're sending isn't getting across. For those that don't know the story, it's the story of a child who his family was killed by this wizard, and he couldn't hurt the child because of love and protection. So the wizard world didn't want him to deal with it till he got older, so they moved him into the normal world. And then 11 years later, they tried to bring him back to the world of wizardry, of wizards, right? So 11 years later had passed, and now it's time to bring Harry Potter back to this beautiful place called Hogwarts. And at first, they started sending letters to Harry's place that he was staying at. He was staying at his guardian's place, his mom's sister's place, and they were staying there, and they did not like him, and they didn't like the magic world. They didn't like any of it. So he starts getting these letters, but these letters could never get to him. His family that was taking care of him at the time kept throwing these letters away. They sent one after another, after another, after another, after another, until hundreds of them were sent. Still, they got zero replies from Harry. And they were like, what is going on? So you see, they kept trying to send the same message over and over and over again. And they sent it every day. They got to the point to where they sent hundreds of the same messages. It's kind of like leaving 100 of the same voicemails. And the client just doesn't pick up. Yet you keep sending all these voicemails knowing that the client's not going to call you back. Well, you see, instead, what had happened is they had to get creative. They said, all right, how do we get in front of this guy, Harry? We need him here right now. And now finally, what they did is this school, Hogwarts, said, you know what? All right, this isn't working. We're going to send this giant by the name of Hagrid. We're going to send Hagrid in person to go figure out what is going on. So, needless to say, this giant of a behemoth of a man knocks on the door, breaks it down, actually, if you watch the movie, and he goes ahead and he has the handwritten letter and he hands it to him directly. He answered all of his questions. He brought him school supplies and even brought him an owl. That owl that stayed with him the entire step of the way. You see, that level of persistent follow-up changed Harry Potter's life. Now, some might be saying, John, this is, don't you think this is dramatic? I really don't. And the reason I don't is because a lot of the consumers we talk to, you don't actually know their real problems. I've done thousands upon thousands of mortgages. And one of the biggest things is the joy from clients that you're saving $100 a month, $50 a month. You're paying off debt, watching their face, seeing their life change in front of me. I've seen it happen way too many times. That's why, to me, this isn't dramatic. To me, this is what we deal with. But you see, sometimes just sending a letter, sending an email, sending the same voicemail doesn't work. You got to get creative. Sometimes you got to get big. You got to have big presence, big energy. And you have to find a different way to craft your message to get in front of your consumers. See, people don't always ignore you. Sometimes it's life, it's what's going on in their life. So, how could you make their life just a little easier? How can you give them a message that maybe brightens up their day? How can you give them a message that maybe changes their mind? That's the type of stuff I think about. Because the connections, the real connections, they don't happen on the first follow up, the second, the third, the fourth. Sometimes they happen on the 10th, the 11th, the 12th. But what is your tolerance to pain and growing? Because that's what follow up is. It's just your tolerance for pain, your tolerance to not have somebody answer the phone. And never forget, your follow up could be the thing that changes everything. So be like Hagrid. Follow up. If it doesn't work, go in with some big presence. Change your mood, change your tone. Follow up, follow up, follow up, y'all. Take care, my friends.
Yeah. I mean, sending a giant, it's definitely definitely a creative way of reaching out to your consumer.
Mm-hmm. How was that, Tommy?
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Good.
My mom actually read when I was younger. My mom would read the first couple Harry Potter books to us as bedtime stories, my brother and I, and then as the books continued to come out, we then could read them ourselves. So we are big fans. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a great way to just continue like this from the sales pitch, just doing something different, right?
Yes, sir.
Great story.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's go wrap things up here and takeaways. Obviously, try something different is the main takeaway from today's podcast. Follow up in a different way. Um, any other takeaways you want to drive home, John?
You know what? For me, the biggest takeaway is just it's actually ties to the fortune cookie, and it ties to following up. Right? It's that comfort zone. It's getting outside of it. Like the stuff you think that worked before doesn't work anymore. The age that we're in is a different age. Consumers are looking people up. You can't put on a front anymore. People will know who you are. They know your life. They understand it because it's social media. So be you, but be different. Make some changes. Don't be corporate. Don't be just buy the book. This is the only way to have a conversation. No, have some fun and don't be afraid to put yourself in uncomfortable situations.
I couldn't agree more. Being you, it's so exhausting being someone else.
Mm.
And I feel like people resonate with if you're just you, people can tell that because it's what you are when you're tired. It's what you are when you're energetic. It's what you are when you're in any state, right? Like it's still you. It's just different energy levels. You still have the same uh motives, you still have the same desire. It's just it takes so much more energy to be someone else. Save your energy and be yourself.
You know, my mentor, one of the things he taught us many years back before he passed, he said to me, he goes, "Hey, you know what you're really good at?" I said, "What?" He goes, "Being you. Keep doing that." And then he walked away from me. You know, those one of those key moments for him that I'll never forget. Just his face, his smirk, and literally that's it. He's like, "You're really good at being you. So keep doing that." Smiles, turns around, walks away, and I'll just still to this day, you can kind of see it on my face, just lights my face up. You know, so you're spot on, man. It's exhausting being someone else. So hey, be the person you're good at being yourself.
Yeah. No one is better at being you than you. So thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Broker Power Up podcast. If you found today's tips helpful, do us a couple favors. Hit the like button to let us know you enjoyed it, which helps even more people see this content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and ring the bell to get notified every time we drop new content, which we have a lot coming. Real quick plug. This week, we have a bunch of stuff coming out. Tomorrow, we have the return of the Broker to Broker podcast with Matt Ishbia. And then on Wednesday, we have the WMN Live. And then on Thursday, we have Processor Committee Live, which is now going to be live and on YouTube.
Yep.
So, very exciting stuff. So, share this video with a fellow broker. You could use a power up Remember to lead by example, to lift each other up, to grow together, and most importantly, close more loans. Until next time, keep powering up.